This is a narration, an excerpt by Wendingus, who is also seen on Reddit. For the email subject.
Pops out of the dumpster and hands you a napkin with scribbles on it.
It's quiet in here, Finn said after a long silence, breathing out a puff of smoke that made the view of our computer monitors hazy. The clock stopped working? Sure enough, we all looked up at the wall and saw that circular clock had paused. It was just a few minutes to midnight. The minute hand stuck on the number 11 and twitched in place. The clocks on our monitors read the same. You guys see that? I was staring out the window, slowly standing up and pushing my chair away. As I stepped towards the plexiglass, which was now beginning to fog up from the body heat stuffed inside the tiny room, I saw that purple light again. This wasn't the light from the forest. Now the one glowing from within an endless pit in the ground. This one floated above the trees and into the sky. Flares of light popping and wiggling around it. Tendrils of a second sun. It grew brighter, large, perhaps closer? I heard a great and powerful drone, loud enough to make my ears hurt. Daniel took out his hearing aid, the tiny device squealing into the open air as he dropped it on the desk. All at once, we heard a rapid ticking. The clock was moving again, racing as if trying to catch up. Our monitors began to blink, the time on the screen flickered and began to count upwards. 11:59, 11:60, 11:61. Minutes that didn't even exist. There was a loud screech from all three of our headsets, volume blaring and seemingly coming from all directions at once. We'll drink a cup. The floor began to shake beneath our feet. The lights flickered on and off, changing colors from red to orange to purple. Of kindness yet. Crows were flying at the window, hitting the plexiglass. The glittering stars flew overhead as if the hours were speeding by. The purple glow now shone so bright that it took up the entire view. For the sake of Auld Lang Syne, everything in the room shut off with a loud buzz. The lights, the computer monitors, the audio console. I heard nothing except our own panicked breathing and the sound of my pulse inside my ears. Finally, there it was again. The clock on the wall began to tick. It was 5 minutes to midnight again. Daniel was the first one to speak. Okay, Jesus, what the fuck was that? I tapped the keyboard of my computer, testing to see if the screen would come back on. Nothing happened. I don't know, but I think we lost power? Oh, shit. Shit. I'm gonna go get the generator started. I drew my coat closer around my neck, the night's chill sinking in. As I took 2 small steps towards the door, I reached for the handle and prepared to run out without even... Oh shit, lost it, hold up. And prepared to run out without even looking where I was going. I'd be shocked to find that instead of hitting the snowy ground, my boot sank through the air with a plunge that made my heart drop all the way down to my knees. In an instant, I was dangling, holding onto the door handle for dear life. I felt the wind blowing against my legs, the cold air whistling in my ear. I was looking up at the doorway where Finn was already rushing to the edge to grab my arms. The old, worn hinges of the door were starting to protest against my weight. "Evelyn, let go!" Finn yelled, gripping my arms right above the elbows. No! I yelped. My voice rang out as a panicked squeak. Fuck you! Trust me! Let go or you and the door are gonna drop! I looked down. Oh god, I really shouldn't have looked down. We were floating at least a half mile above the forest. Dirt and roots dangling from the bottom of the shed as if it had been plucked off the ground. Below us, the magenta light coming from that endless pit was shining brightly, like a round burst of color. An eye looking up into the stars. I was hyperventilating. My head was starting to spin. The world was turning on its side as I grew dizzy and faint. And when I looked back up at the door, Finn wasn't there anymore. Someone else had taken his place. I saw a thick red beard, tan freckled skin, a yellow and orange fireman's coat. He was holding my elbows tightly, nodding his head with a comforting, reassuring smile. "I got you, Ginger Snap," he said. "But you gotta let go." I'm gonna fall." The voice that came out of my mouth wasn't mine. It was tiny, young, childlike. "You ain't gonna fall, darling. Trust your paw, I got you." I braced myself, teeth clenched. Before I could have a chance to doubt my decision, my hand released the doorknob, and I felt my weight shift suddenly and startling. My eyes squeezed shut as I pulled upwards, my stomach hitting the edge of the doorway first before the rest of me toppled onto something warm and human-shaped. He didn't smell like that anymore. He smelled like cigarette smoke and pine. Finn gave me a pat on the back, pushing me by the shoulders to ease me off of him so that he could stand. I clutched my chest, sitting in the middle of the floor and struggling to breathe. Daniel was out of his chair at this point, sitting on his ass halfway to the door as if he'd either fallen or tried to scoot instead of using his crutches. "I think I'm having a panic attack," he wheezed. "Oh God, you're always having a panic attack." Finn grabbed Daniel under the arms, pulling him up and putting a crutch under his arm so he could stand. "Lynn, you okay?" I looked up at him, my sight still bleary, head still spinning. I blinked and felt a tear rolling down my cheek. Yeah, I'm okay." I sniffed as Finn grabbed my hand and pulled me up, patting my shoulder. "So, don't go out that door. Okay, fellas?" Oh, fuck. I forced a small chuckle. All three of us were looking out the window now, watching the wind push us along as we floated far above the trees and just under the clouds. The wooden boards were creaking and whining like a boat being rocked by the waves. The dingy, hanging light above us started to buzz. The bulb crackled to life. Our computer screens flickered, the radio static blasting through our headsets. We heard the music again. Should Old Acquaintance Be Forgot? A warm, red light filled the sky. Thunder roaring as meteors began to fall from the heavens. They made the sound of whistling fireworks as they fell. We all braced ourselves while the shed began to rock, flames engulfing the trees. And never brought to mind. The ticking was louder now. 11:62. 11:63. We were falling. The building gave one violent roll to the side like an aircraft going out of control, and suddenly we could see the flaming trees below getting closer and closer. The three of us fell into a pile on the floor. Finn was grabbing the edge of the desk for dear life. Daniel was squeezing me so hard that it hurt. 11:63. 11:64. That's all you get? That's it? That's all of it?